How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Ladyhill. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to Ladyhill, a real location in County Antrim, Northern Ireland, just north of Lockney. This map is mostly just rural Irish farming with not much in the way of factories or productions, but it does have two large buildable areas to make your own. It has 8 small farms and 4 small farm areas, which all can be bought, sold, and bought again without the need to sell any placeables. The ownership of the placeables will change accordingly. It also has a cattle pasture mod that can be placed into any field or yard and removed again without disturbing or reshaping the land. It holds 200 and it is free, which will be good for cattle rotation roleplay. This map has 158 fields, 3 cattle pastures, 4 cattle sheds, 1 sheep pasture, 1 horse pasture, 8 small farms, 4 small farm areas, 2 large buildable areas, 29 different custom build house models, 30 different custom build shed models, custom grass and meadow textures, dirt bike racing track, free quarry loaded with stone for winter work, temporary cattle pasture mod, field numbers matching farmland numbers, the ability to buy, sell, and buy again the same farm with working placeables, NPC characters replaced with fictional Northern Irish named characters. A special thanks to Lancy Boy for teaching me the useful tips, making buildings in Blender, and of course Mr. Farquhar for all the time spent going through the map, testing, and giving helpful advice. I hope you enjoy this map." There are mods required for this map, starting with the Placeable Vehicle Pack by Alien Jim and the British Grain Shed by Red Dog. This map was created by FS Landscaping and is 265.53 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here on the kind of southwest portion of the map. And our main starting farm. We start out by owning farmlands number 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 73, 74, 163, 164, 165, and 168. Whew! 35 is a barley field ready to harvest. 36 is a barley field ready to harvest. 38 is a grass field ready to harvest. 39 is a grass field ready to harvest. 40 is a grass field ready to harvest. 41 is a grass field ready to harvest. 73 is a barley field ready to harvest. And 74 is a grass field ready to harvest. 163 through 168 are all your main starting farm. Field prices on the map do vary, and you do get the ability to have a pretty decent range of buyable areas. So starting off with some of the smaller farms here, or smaller farmlands, 28 for 10 grand, 14 grand, we got 18, 29, 23, and going a little bit bigger here for 90, this one over here for 40, got an even bigger one here for 140, 64, 127, 257. This large buyable area up here for 358. Got a forestry bit here for no money. This is part of the periphery, as you can see, and you can buy the entire periphery. You can even purchase the quarry, which is up here, and that's for $0 as well. And you've got a whole gambit of different size, shapes, fields, and whether they're arables, whether they're grass, whether they're forestry, you can do a whole bunch on this map. You do start out with animals. You have you have a couple cow pastures, as well as a cow barn, and a sheep pasture. Contracts are available on this map. No production changes to start out with, and no collectibles on this map. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, there is nothing here under the buy menu, but under the build menu. We take a look under the buildings. Nothing under sheds, but under silos, we scroll to the right, you will see Ladyhill mod. Those are the mods that are specific to this map. Nothing under silo extensions or containers, but under tools, you'll see the Rough Lane Workshop. That is a mod specific to this map. And nothing under farmhouses. Under productions, there's nothing under factories, sell points, greenhouses, orchards, but under generators, we do have a large wind turbine that is specific to this map. Under animals, we do have one here for cows. We do have one here for horses. Nothing for pigs. We do have one here for sheep. Nothing for chickens, bees, or others. Under decorations, there is nothing under decorations whatsoever, but under landscaping and painting, we do have several additional painting swatches, but nothing under trees or plants. Now, we do start here at the starting farm, so let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Under our buy menu, scroll down to owned items. Under small tractors, we have the Buer 6105. Under medium tractors, the John Deere 7810. Under harvesters, the New Holland CH770. Under telehandlers, the JCB 541 70 Agri Pro. Under cars, the Lizard Pickup 2017. Trailers, the Crampy Half-Pipe HP20 header for the New Holland. Under animals, we have the Anderson Pro Chop 150 straw blower and the K-Brand RA142 forage wagon. And under we also have the Lizard MKS8 liquid tanker. Under animal transport, we have the Flegel Noah TTW 140. Under front loader tools, we have the Albut pallet fork. And under telehandler tools, we have the Magsi universal bucket and pallet fork. And lastly, under header trailers, we have the Nardi N40BX and the Nardi N40B. And that is everything. So let's go ahead and take a look around the starting farm. We're going to start off the starting farm just over here at our first cow pasture. So we're going to go out here, open up the gate. We'll just go ahead and jump it. And on the other side of this gate, we have our cow pasture. There's the dialog box. Room for 200 cows. We have our feed trigger, water trigger. Now, one thing that I've noticed I'm not 100% certain about is that, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it says that there's food here. That's great. We're starting out with a whole, 43,000 liters in this particular pasture. What I'm also noticing is that there's milk. What I'm not noticing is the trigger for where the milk will dispense out of. I'm not sure what the story is with that. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Unfortunately, I just don't know where that's going to store. Go back up to the farm. Come around over here. We have our cow barn. This is the manure heap in here. We have what I believe is the slurry output here, the milk output here, and room for another 200 cows. Feed and straw go in here. Hop over here. Come here and hop this fence. You'll see the sheep pasture. Room for 100 sheep. Wool spawns here. Feed and water there. And again, if we take a look just really quick, something I keep pointing out, this one is the only one I've noticed that doesn't have food inside of the pasture or inside where the animals are. So that's the only one I've noticed up to this point. You do get quite a bit of product that's here. You've got some hay here. You've got some, actually this is all hay. So yeah, you get quite a bit of hay to start out with. So you got plenty of feed for your sheep there. You also have some silage, quite a bit of silage here. Got a silo here, bunker silo there, and another cow pasture. As you can see, another 43,000 liters of food in there with some milk and room for 200 cows. You got your, now actually that is a output. So maybe this is where the milk is. This is where the feed. And then there's, I presume there was supposed to be water here, but let's see. Can we? Okay, water is not shown here for this one. So water is over on the first one, but not on this one. Or maybe, you know what? Now I've got to go and double check. I've got to make sure that you know what? Here, instead of going all the way over there. No, that is an output for, okay, so there is no water at these. That I completely overlooked the symbols. So that is the output for the milk, and this is the input for the feed. So there is no input for water at these. So that's great. And that is everything at the starting farm. So let's go ahead and make our way out of here. Now, actually, before I get going, because there are 8 separate lands that I have to purchase and I don't want to accidentally skip past them, I'm going to go ahead and cut right here. and buy the land areas, all the farmlands that are going to need to be shown off, and that way I have the symbols up and I'm not going to just drive past them on my way through this map tour. Because there's some that are kind of hiding amongst the... Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and buy them all now. I'll just buy them on camera. That is fine. So starting out with this land here, farmland number 169 for 500,520. Purchase that. Next one is farmland, let's see, this one back here, 167 for 4,536. Next one is, let's see, farmland number 170, which is up here, 863,424. Next one is 173, which I believe is over here. And that was 251,280. Next one is 172, which is here, for 283,668. We then need to purchase this one here. Farmland number 182, that is $0. This is the biogas plant. This isn't one of the farms. Next one is, let's see, farmland number 174, which I believe is over here, for 166,716, and then 175 here for 853,344, and that is everything. That's perfect. All right, let's go ahead and head out and check out the map. So I'll head down the driveway. Make a right. And coming up here, gonna make a left. And this is gonna be farm number 2. Go ahead and stop right here. All right, now, tucked away back here, we have our silo right here, inputs and outputs. Cow barn right here, room for 80 cows. We have our milk trigger here, feed trigger here. Slurry trigger, I believe, is right here. Bunker silo inside. And then I believe around the back side over here. Nope, I went the wrong way. I'll cut through right here. Let's see. Now, there's supposed to be what I presume is a workshop. As you can see here, we were here at our main starting farm right here. Came down the driveway over to here to this area here. Now you can see there's supposed to be a workshop here. I cannot find the trigger that would indicate a workshop. Now I would have presumed it would have been somewhere in here. Just ran around looking around for a trigger, and I'm not seeing anything. I can see open the door. I can grab onto certain bits of equipment that's tucked away in here, but I don't have an actual trigger that says, hey, this is where you can repair stuff. So I'm not quite sure what the story is with this particular portion of the farm, but at least that portion of it might be broken, might need to be updated. I'm not certain. But that's it for farm number 2. Let's go ahead and head back out. Continuing to head down the road. All right, we'll stop right here. Inside here, this is the McKinney's distribution cell point. And then right out the back side over here is a horse pasture. We already purchased this. Room for 5 horses. Feed goes here. No water is necessary, and there is food already inside the pasture. We'll hop back in, head down the road just a little bit further. coming up right here. Head down the road. This is the dairy you can purchase for $70,000. Got their output right here, and input is right around the back in front of this tanker right there. Head back to the truck. I'll come up to this intersection. We'll make a right. And then we'll take this all the way back to our next farm. This is going to be farm number 4. Oh. Now the road does get very rough in certain areas. This particular stretch of road, it is extremely rough. If you get off the pavement here ever so slightly, you are going to end up in a bit of a pickle. Now we'll go around the back over here. Farm number 4 has a cow barn, as you can see. Room for 200 cows. A slurry here. Feed as well as straw here. Now, I'm not sure. This almost looked like a manure plate, but I don't see like an actual manure heap trigger. Bunker silo is back here. And milk trigger right over here. Go and grab our truck once again. Now we need to carefully head down the road. Especially going in this direction, I found that going in this direction is far more treacherous than coming in the opposite direction, because you actually get quite a bit more speed built up. As you can see, I'm backing off quite a bit on the gas at certain points because I learned my lesson the hard way. So now we're going to take this all the way back past the starting farm so we can hit the main stretch of road. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Can get very treacherous in certain parts of this map. But of course, you're not intended to go 74 miles an hour across the entire map. Now here we'll make a right and then follow this out to our next point of interest, which is coming up here on our right. Oops. Coming down here to the next farm. This is going to be farm number 5. You can see it right over there is the silo for the farm, and that is the only point of interest at this particular farm. One thing I've noticed is I don't think there's a single farm, even your main starting farm, doesn't have a sleep trigger. So it's going to have to be something that you add if you want to be able to sleep through the night or do something along those lines. Heading down the road. Turn here. Pass by the next farm, farm number 6. Again, another silo. Right here. Now, one thing of note is that you'll see some roads here on the map are marked off in this kind of red color. Those are kind of the 2-track roads. So black roads are those kind of main roads, and then the red roads are the 2 tracks. This one takes us all the way out to the biogas plant, which is right up on top of this little hill here. Stop right there, open the gate. Normal biogas plant, nothing special here. Solid input here, liquid input here, liquid output over there, aka digestate. Head back out. Make a left. Continue to follow this road out. We'll make a right in here. And back here is the animal dealer. Now, if you have pens and pastures already placed down on the map, which if you're starting from as a new farmer, you will have that, you can come out here and use this icon here, or you can use the same icon at your pens and pastures already placed down on the map. If you use this icon, though, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealers take the animals from this location and moving them out to the pens and pastures that you have located on the map for you. And it gets pretty expensive. If you get an adult cow, that's an extra $100 per adult cow. And with room for 200 cows, that'll add up really quickly. $60,000 for 60 cows in addition to the base price. So that adds up really fast. Now you can save that money by bringing an animal trailer to this location and loading the animals directly into the animal trailer. Once you do that, you can deliver the animals yourselves and you save that money. Now we'll continue out towards the edge of the map there. You'll see one last point of interest tucked away back here. Back here is the farmer's market sell point. And now we follow this all the way back out to the main road. As we continue to weave through the hedges here, we'll come up on the main road. And now we take this long to our next point of interest. Coming up here, if we make a left, that heads back out towards the main starting farm. You can actually see the main starting farm off in the distance there on the hill, and there's a car that I just ran right into. But yeah, starting farm right over there. Now coming up here on my left, this is Blaven's Transport Sell Point. Continuing down the road. Behind this barn here is a sell point. That is the Lavery Horse Riding Club sell point. Get turned around. Oh. There we go. Keep heading in this direction. tucked away in here is the next set of interests. Debris crusher sell point right there. And through this gate, we have the lumber mill sell point. You can purchase the lumber mill for $100,000. Our output for our production is right here. Input can be anywhere inside this box here. The wood cell trigger is just in front of this van right here. And output for wood chips is right over there. One thing I'll point out real quick, going into a bird's eye view, big, massive quarry on this map. It is absolutely huge. Tons upon tons upon tons of stone. So you'll be able to harvest so much stone out of there. Make sure you have some good stone mods at the end of the day. Now coming up here, make a left. Coming up here, coming up to my right, this is farm number 7. You can see it just has another silo. And now to my left is farm number 8. Stop right here. And tucked away in here, we have a cow barn. Milk here. You can see it already has inputs and outputs. It's got slurry, it's got straw, it's got milk, it's got food, the whole 9 yards. Slurry here, feed here, straw here as well. And the trigger is on the other side. We'll take a look at that on the way out. There it is. Stop there. And room for 200 cows. Head back out to the main road. Oops, I went the wrong way. Heading this direction. That's looking better. Coming up here. Start to head down south and take in our last point of interest. Stop there. Now, tucked away in here, repair trigger right there. And inside here, oops, is our shop trigger. And that's it. That is everything here on Ladyhill map. Now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. This map I really like. Now I think there's going to need to be some polishing and whatnot, but not a ton. Not a lot of polishing is going to be needed. and I don't think it would be too heavy of a lift to be able to make some of the alterations. So what do I like about this map? I love the terrain. The terrain is gorgeous. The map just in general is just very pretty looking. It's got nice rolling hills. The road network is relatively straightforward, but is still complex enough to where you can kind of, you could potentially get lost if you're not paying attention. Color palette's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. It's very toned down, very muted, so it's not gonna get that kind of cartoonish vibe that's some maps can have. I mean, all in all, I like it. I think that this is a very, very good map. The couple of things I think are going to need to be addressed are just some smoothening out in the road network, as well as kind of the surrounding of the road itself. You can see this is the large placeable area they were talking about, one of the large placeable areas. That's a huge placeable area. You're going to be able to put down a ton of stuff up there. But I mean, it looks really sharp. Whenever you look around here, I mean, there's tons of stuff going on. And what I really like about this map as well, that some maps really struggle with, this, is the kind of picture that is used for the kind of outer border of the map. This one here actually fits in. It fits in very well. If you look around, you can just see how it looks relatively spot on in a lot of places. Now, that I'm not... you know what? I say that now, but let's go out to the border just real quick. There's something in the way distance there that I just am now picking up on. I can't tell if that's maybe clouds or something, but you can kind of see a rough transition in the background there. But I mean, for the most part, it's not that noticeable, especially when you're driving around and whatnot. You're really not going to see that. But what I'm really taking note of is the more kind of closer to the periphery edge there. That the kind of gentle hills in the background there, that is what I'm talking about. There's a certain maps where that kind of outer picture, you have a very flat map, but then it's like nestled in the picture of the mountains kind of thing. It's like it just doesn't fit the terrain or anything that you're working with. And this one I feel does a pretty good job of, taking that into account. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be so many positives on this particular map. The sheer number of fields that you start out with is massive. You start out with a ton of, kind of bales and stuff that really kind of get you started out on the right foot. You're got a lot of your pens and pastures already pre-filled with feed, so you're not going to have to worry about feeding them right away. You're going to be able to focus on getting the products and stuff that you'll need out. I mean, just overall, you're going to be pretty well set up right at the very beginning of the map, and you're not going to have to sit there, and hopefully won't have to sit there and struggle, to get to, starting up your first cow barn. You're not going to have to sit there and struggle to get your first sheeps, your first pigs, whatever. I mean, you should be able to kind of really turn it loose and go, rather than the slow, steady grind of building. You're going to be able to just go. And yeah, I think that's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice to be able to just kind of get into it, kind of thing. But yeah, what do I think of this map? 0 to 5 rating as per usual. I would say that I'd probably give this map a 4. I think that this is deserving of a 4. This is a really solid map, and I really do like it. And over here is the dirt bike track, I just realized. So that's kind of cool. I mean, no practical purpose for this dirt bike track to be here, but it's here. And that's cool. It's right over the quarry here, so you get to kind of look out on the quarry while you're ripping through trying to race around. So that is really cool, and it's nestled in between some farmlands and all that stuff too. And some of the things I think that are going to need to be addressed, like I said, are the smoothness, the kind of overall kind of, the road itself is really kind of uneven and really rough in some areas. The transition between certain elevations are very jagged, so they are, for the most part, relatively rough to drive over and look at. Again, for the most part, most people are not even going to notice that because they're not going to be driving around at 74 miles an hour. They're going to be driving around trying to get from place to place in their tractors at 26 to 40 miles an hour. And those harsher transitions aren't going to be as noticeable. Like, you can see just how much I'm bouncing around here, though I'm only going like 40 miles an hour for the most part. So I mean, there's some areas that need to be addressed, but it's not the end of the world. This is a very, very nice, lovely map, and yeah, overall, I think it's going to be good. What did I say? I think I gave it a 4. I think I gave it a 4. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show it by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. The shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.